Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. So you guys voted it up, and we're going to finish Holy Wars by Megadeth. So we're going to take a look at the rest of the rhythms in the song. Some of them are really, kind of really move around all over the place. There's just pretty complicated rhythms. As I'm sure you guys already know, you know the song. And then we'll take a look at Marty Friedman's solos, all three of them in one video, and then Dave Mustaine's solo at the end of the song in one video. All right, so let's take a look here at these riffs leading out of where we stopped in the first video. We're going to start here. We're going to take care of Dave Mustaine's little melody that he plays. It sounds like this. So he would just repeat that. So we're up here at the 10th fret here. We're going to play 10th fret on the A, 12 on the D, back to that 10, over to 12 on the E, and back up, 10, 12. Move up 2 frets, 12, 14 there, A to the D string. Shift down here, we're going to play 7th fret on the A, 6, to the 9 on the D, and then slide into that 7 on the A. I'm going to go through these notes pretty quickly. Obviously, if you're at the level where you can play this song, you probably don't need me calling out every single thing I'm doing. So we have this so far. Now the second part ends differently. It sounds like this. So we start with that same figure we did before. Instead of jumping up to the 12th fret now, we do this. 11 on the low E, 9 on the A, 13 on the D. Then you're going to move these two fingers down. Move it down to the 10th on the low E. Keep the 9 there, and then 12 on the D. And then slide into that 7 again. Then you just repeat everything. All right, and now we have this riff that's the last, kind of unaccompanied riff. You're going to see this a lot in the song that ends the intro section. All right, so let me just show you what the pattern is, and then I'll show you the different shapes that he used to play that pattern. So we have this. So that's up, I'm going to some low E's and palm muting, then the power chord 3rd fret, open, then slide 2 to 3, open, then 2, then open again, slide up 2 to 3, open, slide down 2 to 3, 3 to 2, open, then slide back up. So I have this. All right, so just kind of get that pattern down. Just use your ear really. It's just basically based around the open string and those 2 frets. You got 2 hits there in between each one. All right, so out of that, we go back in it, which is part of that riff that we did in the first video, so you should probably already know that. All right, and now we go back to the same riff down here, but he uses a different chord voicing. Instead of using a power chord shape, he uses a major 3rd shape. So we're still, the bottom note of each chord is just still between 2 and 3, except instead of doing the power chord, you're doing the 3rd, which is third fret here, you use your second finger, and second fret on the A. And so you just, so that's the root of the chord, and you're just going to add that finger on top. And then back to the power chords, and back to thirds. All right, so you'll see him rotate, especially when he's doing, pretty much when he's doing that riff. He rotates back and forth between using the power chord shape and the third shape, just every other time he switches it. All right, so let's talk about that main, the verse part, which is the most difficult part of the whole song, for rhythms at least. And that's when the vocals kick in, and that's what I played at the beginning of this video. So we're going to start here with this. All right, so we had a quick little 5, 6, 7 on the A string. It's muted, so a quick little down, up, down. You're going to be starting all these. It's going to kind of keep going back to that little phrase. Then you're going to kind of fill up the time a little bit with some low E string kind of mutes. And then you can play these two shapes. It's that major third shape again that we did before, but moved up an octave. So it's a 5th fret here on the D, 4th on the G. Then move that down half step. Back to the low E once, and then you're going to start these 3 notes again. And then the different ending is going to be this. This is a minor third shape, 6th fret on the low E, 4th on the A. Play that, up a half step, and back down. So we have this so far. Now in between, you can hit these low E's in between these parts. Whenever you basically have time, come down and hit a low E, just mute it. So you'll find the parts as you get into the groove of it, where you can come down and hit that low E. Start back over with this 5, 6, 7. Now the new ending is this, which is the same minor third shape. 7 on the A, 5 on the D, and then move down 1 fret. So we have this. All right, so all 3 together. And they're going to start the 4th one with this same 5, 6, 7. All right, so we are going to be basing our chords down here off that major third shape. So we have this. So he goes out of that, open, and then we have the major third shape built off the 2nd fret there on the low E. That's just really the ending of that part, and then this new section of the riff starts like this. So that's open E string, the 3rd off the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then 5th, then open E string twice, then back down to that 3rd built off the major 3rd shape built off the 5th fret. So we have this. All right, then we have the same riff again, but instead of going to the 5th, it's the 6th fret. So you're muting as they come up. All right, and then when you get to this, the 6th, the last 6 is the part of the next descending riff. It sounds like this. So that's just that major third shape built off the 6th fret, then 5th, 3rd, then the open A string. That's how you get this, that kind of melody. And then you're going to pull off 3 to 0 on the low E, and do alternate picking mutes after that on the low E string. So this. So it just repeats that twice. And then we're going to end the riff by playing that same 6, 5, 3, but you're going to do it with a straight power chord. So just straight power chord shape, not the 3rd. And that's the end of the riff, and it starts over. So all together, slowly. it starts over there on that 5, 6, 7. All right, so that might take a little getting used to. It really moves around a lot, but it really has a lot going on, and it's great rhythm exercise. Now it ends like this, which is similar to the intro, but we're just going to do this: 5, 6, 7 on the A, then on the low E, then 6, 7, 6, 5 on the low E, 5, 4, 3 on the low E, and then 5, 3, 0 into that low E power chord. Now, as that rings out, Marty Friedman's first little clean guitar solo, Spanish guitar solo comes up. We're going to take a look at that in the next video, but after that we have this rhythm. Alright, so this is built off of fourths here. We're going to basically all off the 5th and 4th string. So you're going to start at the 3rd fret on the A and the D string together. Move it down to 2. And with some low E mutes. Repeat that. So all together. And then just come up, take that shape, 2, 3, 5. I like to play those 5s because I put some vibrato on it, so play with individual fingers. But it's still 5s on the A and the D. It's kind of muted as it goes up there. It's pretty cool. All right, and from there we have the bridge, which sounds like this. All right, so we are basically just hammering on. We have this low E ringing out all the way. So we hammer on 0 to 2 on the D, and as you play that, you're gonna play the 5th fret on the, the 2nd fret on the A string. So we hammer on, and then as that's still ringing, hit the 2nd fret on the A, and then 4 on the D, 2 on the A, the low E, up into the 3rd fret power chord there. Back to the low E open. Now here, on the 2nd time through, when you get that 2 on the A, you're going to do this. So that's 3, 2 on the low E. Then, those are heavily palm muted, by the way. And then the open high E string, and the open B string. Same thing at 2 and 1, and 1 and 0. Now you're going to hear a variation of that part after the first solo, after the 2nd solo, I'm sorry. And it sounds like this. So you saw that. It's just when you're doing that 3rd fret power chord, you're gonna rake, do an upward rake across the harmonics of the 5th fret on the first 3 strings. Then back to the normal riff. Now, as the rhythm starts going, the same riff is just played. Just kind of you're putting a rhythm on all the notes. All the notes sound the same. It's just on this. All right, so just kind of keep chugging along whenever there's no, steady moment there. You're just kind of going through, keeping a nice, easy downstroke rhythm there, and so it's the same fingerings though. All right, from there we're going to cover the solos that are done underneath Marty Friedman's 2nd and 3rd solo. Sounds like this. All right, so that's just based off a couple of chords. We're gonna have third fret on the low E. Let these ring out together, by the way. And then the second fret on the A. Then third fret on the B. Then the open B and the open G. You got that, and then a little bass line that leads into the next chord, which is 1 on the low E, open A, into this B flat suspended second chord. So it's a full bar at the first fret, and the third fret there on the D and the G. And you're going to pick it across 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, and lead back up to start over. It's just muted 0, 1, 2, 3. And when you get there, you're just starting over. Same ending. Just kind of extends it. 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0. All right, so that goes back into the bridge, back into another solo. And then after the second solo, we have that riff with the harmonics. It sounds like this. So we've seen that riff before, just not with the harmonics. We had the open E power chord, and then the harmonic at the third fret on the low E. A little bit of burst in there, a couple of bursts. Then the same riff. So you've seen that riff before. Now, we don't go back and forth between the power chord and the major third voicing when we're doing the harmonics. It's just all power chords. All right, now we continue that rhythm while Dave Mustaine's solo starts coming in. Now, here they leave out the harmonics. It's the same exact rhythm, two differences. No harmonics. And it rotates between the major third shape and the power chord shape to do the riff with. So we have this. All right, so that's going on underneath Dave Mustaine's solo. All right, so then we get to the verse pretty much at the end of the song, which is a simplified riff version of what we've done before. It's just basically doing this. So it's just doing a hammer 5 to 7 with the alternate picking on the low E string muted 4 times. And then the power chord here at the 7th fret on the low E string. So just repeat that. Now, to break that up, they do this one time. They go into that, which is the ending, the last ending part that we learned of Dave Mustaine's little rhythm, little melody, I'm sorry, that we learned at the very beginning of this lesson. Then back to that same riff. And then the riff without the power chord. All right, and then we have that ending riff, which is the same one we've done before. Then mix it up with the thirds. All right, so that right there is we're not doing anything in between the riffs. We're just going. So So you can see I was just going between those two riffs without doing anything in between it. And that little quick little lick I did at the end, that's that same 5, 6, 7, 7, 0 in the low E, and then the power chord. All right, so that's a lot to look at there. So make sure you absorb all this, see if you can play all the rhythms through the whole song, looking at these first 2 videos, and then we'll start tackling Marty Friedman solos in the next lesson. I'll see you then.